Let's talk about China's restaurant industry. We're looking at a market with over 16 million restaurants. For a long, long time, the story was just about one thing: growth, growth, growth. Well, that story is officially over. What's left is a brutal head-to-head fight for survival, and it's all happening in this massive food war between two absolute titans, Beijing and Shanghai.
Okay, so to really get what's happening, you have to understand this one core concept: the stock game. Think of the market like a giant pizza. For years, that pizza just kept getting bigger and bigger. But now, it's stopped growing. The pie is a fixed size. And that means for one restaurant to get a bigger slice, another one has to get a smaller one. It's a true zero-sum game, a battle for every single customer.
And when I say it's a battle, I mean it's an all-out war. Just look at this number: over 16 million restaurants. Let that sink in for a second. That is the number of businesses all fighting for the same piece of that same pie. The pressure is just immense, and it's forcing absolutely everyone to rethink their entire playbook for how to survive.
So that brings us to the real question, doesn't it? In this new cutthroat environment with millions of rivals, who actually comes out on top? And more importantly, how are they doing it? To figure that out, we're going to zoom in on the two biggest battlegrounds in this whole conflict.
And of course, those battlegrounds are Beijing and Shanghai. But you have to understand, these aren't just two cities with a bunch of restaurants. No. They are two completely different worlds, two unique ecosystems. Each one has its own personality, its own type of diner, and its own rules for winning the game.
So here's the high-level vibe. Beijing's food scene is wrapped up in culture and policy. It's more traditional, it's focused on heritage, and you can really feel the government's hand guiding its development. Shanghai, on the other hand, is a totally different beast. It's the engine of commerce, it's international, it's relentlessly competitive, and it is all in on technology.
And this, right here, illustrates that difference perfectly. Just look at the sheer number of simple dumpling and wonton shops. Shanghai has almost 10,000 of them, completely dwarfing Beijing. Now, this isn't really about dumplings. What this shows you is Shanghai's hyper-fast, convenience-first dining culture. It creates a kind of market pressure you just don't see anywhere else.
Okay, so we've established these two very different playing fields. So what kind of brands are actually winning? Because let's be real, a strategy that makes you a star in Beijing could make you an absolute nobody in Shanghai. This is where you can really see the winning formulas in action. In Beijing, you've got a brand like Dong, which turns roast duck into a high-art experience. That's all about cultural capital. Then, on the other hand, you have Ziguangyan, the neighborhood hero with 300 spots acting as the local canteen. But in Shanghai, the winners look totally different. You've got Shenmeng, a trendy social hub for the younger crowd, and Wagas, which isn't just selling food, it's selling a whole international, Western lifestyle.
So in a sea of 16 million competitors, how on earth do you even get noticed? Well, one of the most powerful strategies emerging is what's called the big single product strategy. The idea itself is beautiful in its simplicity, but pulling it off? That's another story entirely.
Here's the playbook. A brand like Wang Shengzhe doesn't just say they sell Beijing food. They are the fish head pancake place. Fei Dachu doesn't sell generic Hunan cuisine. They completely own the chili fried pork category. It's about finding that one hero dish, obsessing over it until it's perfect, and then building your entire identity around being the absolute, undisputed king of that one thing. It just cuts through all the noise.
But, brands can have the best strategies in the world, but they don't get to decide who wins. The customer does. And the modern Chinese diner, especially the younger generation, they're playing by a completely new set of rules. And this is maybe the most important shift of all. Going out to eat isn't just about the food anymore. It's about the experience. Just look at these numbers from Beijing. Over 60% of consumer spending is now on services and experiences. People aren't just paying for a meal, they're paying for a memory, a story, something to post about. And who's driving this? You guessed it, the Gen Z diner. For them, the question has changed. It's not just, is this delicious? It's, is this experience cool enough to post on my social media? They want authentic stories, and health to them means high-quality, functional ingredients, not just low calories.
So because of this, the whole journey of how someone picks a restaurant has been completely rewired. It's not a straight line, it's a digital loop. It kicks off when they see a cool dish on social media, then they check reviews to validate it, then they go have the experience themselves, and the final step, they post their own pictures, which starts the whole cycle all over again for someone else.
So you've got this brutal market. You've got this incredibly demanding new customer. How do you get an edge? Well, restaurants are turning to a secret weapon, and that weapon is technology, specifically artificial intelligence.
And I need to be clear here, this is not just a few nerdy restaurants trying something new. This is a massive, top-down government priority. I mean, Shanghai has an official action plan to bake AI into every single part of the food industry. They are not messing around. They are betting the farm that the future of food is going to be run by algorithms.
And the results are just staggering. This is real-world stuff. Restaurants that are already using AI have seen their food waste drop from over 15%, which is pretty standard, to less than 3%. They've cut labor costs by 30%. And decisions that used to be based on a manager's gut feeling are now driven by pure, hard data. It's a colossal leap in efficiency.
Shanghai's plan is just incredibly ambitious. We are talking about AI designing menus based on what's trending right now, fully automated kitchens, and get this, even using AI to digitally preserve the skills of master chefs for the future. It's a total reimagining of the entire industry.
So we've walked through the battlegrounds, we've looked at the strategies, we've even uncovered the secret weapons. Where is this all heading? What does the future of dining actually look like?
You know, when you boil it all down, this whole war for the future of your plate comes down to two very different paths. On one side, you have the path of culture and heritage, the Beijing approach, where you win by telling a great story and creating a work of art. And on the other, you have the path of algorithmic efficiency, the Shanghai model, where you win with data, speed, and technology.
So as these two powerful ideas collide, maybe the real question isn't which one is going to win. Maybe it's about how they'll merge. Could an algorithm be the key to preserving a centuries-old tradition? Or will our most beloved recipes just become another data point in a system? How much of the human touch are we willing to trade for perfect efficiency? That's the real question that's still on the plate.